Atkins here. I had an opportunity to speak with them a few minutes. I think they're going to enjoy what they have to offer. They've been in real estate 16 years and mortgage business as well, but now they're really concentrated left.
So I'm Jay Atkins, as I said, my wife Annie, and we know some of you, our old neighbors. How you doing, old neighbors? Randy back there, great singer.
So are you.
Thank you. Singing the Denison Choir together. We've lived in Licking County. Well, Annie's lived here her whole life. And I'm from Michigan originally. Yeah. Don't throw your food. But yeah, we got started about 16 years ago, and we started this with our personal home and then rented it out and bought another property and went to rent it out, and we were going to buy another one, and then we found out that the bank didn't want to give us another loan. So that's when we started learning about creative financing, and you'll hear a little bit of that blended into this evening. So how many of you, what's that?
Creative financing and other people's money.
Yeah, creative financing. How many of you have Airbnbs that you operate? Anybody? Awesome. Okay, great. How many of you have stayed in an Airbnb before? Okay, pretty good number. So there's all different kinds of varieties and types and styles, and we'll go into a little bit of that today. You have to own the house. I don't know if you guys ever heard of arbitrage before, Airbnb arbitrage. That's where, say, you had a apartment complex that you owned, and I came to you and said, hey, how about you rent me 4 of the units in your complex, and I'm going to Airbnb those. So you may get your regular rent from us, but we're going to take better care of the property than any tenant you ever had, and better care of it than you will. Okay, it's important that your Airbnbs are very clean, updated, have top quality stuff in them, and that is going to get you good reviews. So when you get a bad review, which crazily enough, if you are below a 4.8 rating out of 5 stars, you're not considered a super host. Okay, super hosts, their properties, when you click on, say you went to Airbnb Newark, Ohio, when you click on there, if somebody had Airbnbs in Newark, the superhost properties would come up first. Okay, so if you get a 4 rating, that's actually not good. So they're pretty strict with their ratings, so you want to try to get 5-star ratings at all times. So you kind of are sending subliminal messaging, right? Subconscious messaging to your vacationers. Hey, we can't wait for you to come and have a 5-star experience here, right? We're plugging it to them right from the beginning.
Looking forward to earning your 5-star rating.
Yes, let us know if you have any problems.
Yeah.
Things are from,
I would say 85 to 90% of them come from Airbnb over VRBO for sure. And we have it, VRBO links with HomeAway as well as another one. I can't remember off the top of my head which one it is, but even with those other additional links with the VRBO, Airbnb still is much greater booking wise than VRBO is, significantly so.
yeah, your visitor coming to stay and saying, hey, the place is dirty. Well, actually we have pictures showing that it was clean, time and date stamped. So we've actually had people go and stay at a unit before, and people will start to make negative comments and text to you about, oh, it's dirty and this and that. Take pictures underneath the beds, underneath the couches, so that
Who does Airbnb believe, you or the
Airbnb actually tends to side with
the customer?
No, not always. It just kind of depends on the situation. If you have documentation, like pictures of what your cleaners did that are time-stamped or whatever, and then a list of what you have them do, I've never had to refund money. I mean, I've always been willing to, and in fact, the one that sent me the house fly, she wanted her whole like she was supposed to be there for 30 days. So she wanted the full amount refunded, and she had already been there, or she had booked like last summer. So I said, well, you have already cost me all of these additional renters because you wanted it one for 30 days and you booked in June, and now it's January, so I've missed all of the snowbirds, you know, booking for the time frame in the area. So I sent the documentation that we had, and I asked Airbnb, I said, I'm willing to refund her a maximum of a week, but I would prefer no more than 3 days, and that's all they let her have was 3 days, because I had documentation from our cleaning crew.
So out of 100 rentals,
Mhm.
how many do you have an issue with? In other words, only one out of 100? What's the rate?
100.
What's the rate of people who
Yeah, the-
try to beat you out of
Renters,
something?
yeah. I would say probably, yeah,
10%?
at most.
1 out of 10, maybe? 5%?
You
Yeah, I would
really
say
get
5.
to hear about it out of every 5th customer you're having to address.
There's something,
They're trying to beat you
even
out.
if it's fuzz on the sheets, you know what I mean? Or I had a lint in the dryer, in the lint catcher, it wasn't cleaned out completely.
Yeah.
Got a question over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you have them sign a document and meet them when they come in, that they're accepting it in?
That's a good idea. You could definitely do that if you had
Yeah.
people on, you know,
Yeah,
boots on the
okay.
ground kind of thing.
Most
Yeah.
of the time Airbnbs I've been to, we never did meet
You don't meet the people.
the owner.
Right, we have a key
Electronic
padlock,
lockbox.
yep, on the door, so it's the code. We changed the code for the customer, kind of, so that other people can't get back in with their codes.
So you don't.
That
meet
is
them.
an option, that you could have somebody meet them, but
Well, but you're getting guaranteed a results right from the get-go. I mean, if they come in and they look it over and they say it's okay and they're signing off to that effect.
yeah,
Then you're eliminating the problem later on.
absolutely.
True.
That's a great idea.
That is a good idea. We could have our house cleaner meet them there and sign that document.
Yep.
So the
Or hire a
fee of
property
paying a
manager.
person would offset the cost of, like you
That's
said,
true.
3 days worth
Yeah.
of rent.
Yeah, we would have to have one additional fee to have the house cleaner come.
Sort of
and-
like a concierge.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's true. Review the renters as far as if they follow the house rules, if they clean, you know, if they're clean, or if they leave a mess or whatever. So we've had a couple that haven't broken the rules, but have really stretched them.
They're staying, I shouldn't call them tenants, I guess, guests. Those guests that are
So give
staying.
me a price range, $1,000 a night or something, or what?
No,
we're-
actually, the ones that are $75 a night are more,
So is that-
Annoying.
Is that an average? What's an average of a good one? What's a good one cost? I've never rented one. What's one cost?
well, they can run anywhere from, depending on how many people they sleep, they can run from $50 a night to
10,000 a night.
Yeah, it just depends on where it's at,
Yeah.
what the property consists of, and
Depends on
how
what
many.
you want, Mr. Ayers.
Yeah,
Yep. Yes.
So the rentals can be usually 2, 3, or a week, or a month, like you said?
yeah, we do a minimum of 2 days.
Yeah.
Just because there's a lot of people that come to our Naples properties from Miami, actually, or Fort Lauderdale. They just want to get on the Gulf side for a weekend away or whatever. So we do a minimum stay of 2 days. And then after a week, we give them a 10% discount on their rent. And then for 30 days, we give them a 20% discount on rent. Be able to pay in at least one payment or 2 payments. You can split it up for 2. Actually, with a VRBO, you can split it into 3.
It's not automatically already taken on a credit card or something?
It is when they book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But we don't get it right away.
you don't get it, but Airbnb. gets it.
Airbnb. has
Airbnb and VRBO both hold them
So if
until,
Airbnb wants these people in, you have the ability to say no?
I can, if I don't, yeah.
But
But most of
you
them,
don't. In
correct.
other words, you follow through with what they want. That's why I'm curious. as
Yeah,
to
most of the time.
What are you looking for? You don't want them to be a rock band that's
Right.
traveling through for a day. I
Exactly.
mean, what are you looking for?
No, yeah, they have to be 25, they have to be able to pay, they have to obey our house rules, which are no parties and no,
Right. But some owners, Mr. Ayers, have it in there that when you ask to book it, you automatically get it.
yeah, you can do
That's
auto
not-
booking.
Yeah. Some
Yeah.
people have
I'm
auto
not
booking.
sure why some do.
Yeah, so we would just block off 4, 5, 6 weeks in the summertime, and that's how.
So Airbnb is your only customer? You don't have timeshare people weaseling in, getting
Not
Just
typically.
Airbnb.
No.
Airbnb and VRBO.
VRBO, and then we've also booked off of Craigslist before as
Or
well.
Facebook, yeah. Which I don't prefer doing Craigslist because there's really no way of evaluating who they are.
But we would usually make, so they rented that bedroom to him for 3 nights for $95. So, you know, he was able to stay for $95
Less than a
And-
hotel room.
instead of paying $95 a night for a hotel room. So the possibilities are really endless with what you can do.
The main thing is, especially in the Florida area, is deed restrictions and HOA fees and whether they allow the HOA, whether it allows a monthly rental or a weekly, short-term rental, long-term rental. That's the biggest thing that we've come across, especially in Florida.
With no special laws in the state now that bother that business.
Not for that state, no. One that we acquired, owner finance, no interest, that's here in Newark actually, Bird Avenue. And it was one of our regular rentals. And we had a gap in between tenants. We knew that there was gonna be a couple months gap. So we actually took our staging furniture that we normally use
For our flips.
for staging our fix and flips and put it in here and rented the property to someone that was going to be staying in Newark for a month last summer. And so we converted it to an Airbnb and then brought in an extra $1,000 for that month, where otherwise it would have just sat vacant.
So what kind of people in our area like to rent from you? Are they working for Owens? What brings them to Newark, Ohio?
The one that we had here was a couple. They were fiancés, and she lived here, and he's from Amsterdam, so he was coming to visit. So they stayed. But yeah, anybody that has out of town people that come to work for them or for meetings or for short stays or whatever would be ideal. Whether that's Owens or
That's why I
Hall
was
of
just
Fame or
curious
whatever, all of those
what
places
kind
are.
of people you're hearing.
Does-
Pulled it up,
So-
just curious, and there's 166 listings within the area.
Wow.
Yeah, that's in Zanesville, Columbus.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
okay.
of
Yeah,
them.
how many-
Within our general.
166.
166 around Newark.
Wow.
Probably within, normally he would buy this house and lease option it, and he would bring in $600 or $700 a month over the top of his mortgage payment and homeowner's insurance. But he got this referral from a friend. His acquisition strategy was subject to the mortgage that's in place now. Purchase price was $90, the loan balance was $50. He gave him $40. Yeah, just so you know, this is taxed as active income.
Airbnb got money on top of that, or he had to share
No, that was his profit, so Airbnb got their chunk
Yeah.
off.
on top of it.
Out of,
What
yeah.
percentage does Airbnb take?
That's a good
I
question.
think it's
I don't know. Detectors in there so that if there is, but we don't have cameras inside the house.
They
We
have
also
other
have-
internet channels for that.
We also have Nest thermostats, so if they forget to turn the air up or the heat down, then I can adjust that.
Or in Florida, I don't know why, but they like to crank it down to 65 degrees and leave the front door open, and it will freeze your unit.
Right.
Yeah.
So we can monitor it on our phone and just go back up to 72.
Yeah, ask me how we know what freezes the unit solid.
So having the and develop your system around that.
So yeah, since we have Airbnb properties, if there are other people that are Airbnb hosts that want to stay at our property, and if it's somewhere that we want to go, we've traded before.
Yeah, we've actually traded stays.
So yeah, we're
So
like,
that
we
was
have
fun.
a property here, obviously, and they say, oh, we love it, we're an Airbnb host too, and I'm like, oh, really, where's yours? Because maybe I would trade.